What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing absolutely fantastic. And today, as usual, we're going to continue with the Daily Stoic, and I'll read to you two more meditations out of this great book. So let's get started with the first one. The most secure fortress. Remember that your ruling reason becomes unconquerable when it rallies and relies on itself, so that it won't do anything contrary to its own will, even if its position is irrational. How much more unconquerable if its judgments are careful and made rationally. Therefore, the mind freed from passions is an impenetrable fortress, a person who has no more secure place of refuge for all time. Marcus Aurelius Meditations. Bruce Lee once made an interesting claim. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, he said, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. When we repeat an action so often it becomes unconscious behavior, we can default to it without thinking. Training in the martial arts or combat is a deeply thoughtful study of movement. We sometimes think of soldiers as automations. But what they've actually built is a steady pattern of unconscious behaviors. Any of us can build these. When Marcus says that a mind can get to a place where it won't do anything contrary to its own will, even if its position is irrational, what he means is that proper training can change your default habits. Train yourself to give up anger, and you won't be angry at every fresh slide. Train yourself to avoid gossip, and you won't get pulled into it. Train yourself on any habit, and you'll be able to unconsciously go to that habit in trying times. Think about which behaviors you'd like to be able to default if you could. How many of them have you practiced only once? Let today be twice. It could happen to you. Being unexpected adds to the weight of a disaster, and being a surprise has never failed to increase a person's pain. For that reason, nothing should ever be unexpected by us. Our minds should be sent out in advance to all things, and we shouldn't just consider the normal course of things, but what could actually happen. For is there anything in life that fortune won't knock off its high horse if it pleases her? Seneca Mortal Letters. In the year 64, during the reign of Nero, a fire tore through the city of Rome. The French city of Lyons sent a large sum of money to aid the victims. The next year, the citizens of Lyons were suddenly struck by a tragic fire of their own, prompting Nero to send an equal sum to its victims. As Seneca wrote about the event to a friend in one of his letters, he must have been struck by the poetry, one city helping another, only to be struck by a similar disaster not long after. How often does that happen to us? We comfort a friend during a breakup, only to be surprised when our own relationship ends. We must prepare in our minds for the possibility of extreme reversals of fate. The next time you make a donation to charity, don't just think about the good turn you're doing, but take a moment to consider that one day you may need to receive charity yourself. As far as we know, Seneca truly lived these words. Just a year or so after writing this letter, he was falsely accused of plotting against Nero. The price? Seneca was sentenced to commit suicide. As the historian Tacitus relates this scene, Seneca's closest friend wept and protested the verdict. Where, Seneca asks them repeatedly, are you maxims of philosophy or the preparations of so many years, study against evils to come? Who knew not Nero's cruelty? That is, he knew it could happen to turn him he knew it could happen to him too, and so he was prepared for it. Alright guys, so thank you for joining me today on this video. We're gonna continue with 2 more meditations, but tomorrow. Thank you for joining. See you tomorrow. Bye.